you want to learn how to handle pricing with ease, learn to overcome objections on the fly, you can't do that with AI. And you want to have the confidence to actually be the business owner and close clients and not take the passive approach by sending proposals or quotes. You have to learn relationship based selling. And there is no robot, no artificial intelligence that's going to do that for you right now and probably in our lifetime.
Hey there, Christian Jones here, CEO of TaxProMarketer with the Pro Marketer Podcast. Another great episode in store for you today with Michelle Weinstein, and she is the CEO, founder of The Abundant Accountant. We've had Michelle on before, and she's always a delight to have because she brings a lot of great knowledge, experience, perspective. TaxProMarketer, we're in the digital marketing space for the tax and accounting industry, and Michelle helps people. We'll talk about a few different things today, but it's primarily with their sales processes. She's a great help for us with our clients because it's a very synergistic kind of yin and yang of bring someone leads and she is the closer, if you will. She helps you put in a closing system and process. So again, if you don't know Michelle, you should. She's awesome. We'll put some links to her site, theabundantaccountant.com. But just a little bit more about you, Michelle, and then I'm going to get you on question one. See, as an entrepreneur, I think that is totally fair. You have started not only this, but I think you've done a few other things before as well, but you are a sales strategist. You've done this for a while. You're not a new fly-by-night group. You work with the accounting, tax, fractional CFO, bookkeeping firm, kind of slices of the pie, if you will, from our space, just like we do. You're kind of in every one of them because you can help in each of them. And the number I've got from you, Michelle, is it up to date that you've helped bring in 28 million in new revenue to the firms you've worked with?
They've brought in over 28 million of additional revenue from where they started. So that's by increasing prices, charging for stuff they've never charged before, learning how to close their deals. So instead of people telling them like, I'll think about it, or they get ghosted, or I'll send you a proposal or quote, they're enrolling people in the first meeting. So now they're actually able to help more clients. So it's a conglomeration of all of that kind of revenue that wasn't there before.
Yes. So she has receipts, if you will. She's got, the proof is in the pudding. And a lot
I
of
got
people,
my box of receipts.
yeah, for real. And so again, like if you're listening to Michelle, there's more that she can offer than just today. But I think, Michelle, we're going to hit a couple of things today. The main topics will be kind of AI from your perspective with the sales process. And then we'll maybe some case studies. But just to lead us in, and let me kick the mic to you, kind of what's on your mind right now? What are you working on in your business? What are you thinking about for your clients?
I think, my current clients in the coaching program, I've got a coaching program here called the 8-week sales mastery course. And I would say the biggest thing is, mental exhaustion in the industry, burnout, frustration, irritated that you keep doing the same thing every year and nothing's changing. And, I think the firm owners that I've worked with are just so grateful that they've seen change. They still are seeing a little bit of the frustration or mental exhaustion, like I need a break, but it's significantly reduced from a year or whatever ago. And, I'm just on this mission to eradicate the under-earning and overworking disease that many firm owners have. If you're a bookkeeping firm owner, tax firm owner, fractional CFO, accounting, you should be able to dictate what you want to charge. You don't have to compare on price with anybody, and be able to feel valued and feel appreciated and go on a vacation every, quarter, and take Fridays off and never have to have your back up against a deadline. So what we do here at the Abundant Accountant is help one firm at a time, because that's the only way to make a change in this industry. So firm owners can feel appreciated, feel valued, and once and for all stop undercharging and stop giving away their knowledge and their advice for free. You're worth so much more. And if one firm changes, then other firms can elevate. And together as an industry, once everyone elevates, people won't be competing on price. People won't even say, when I ask a brand new prospect who wants to work with me, I go, oh, how do you create your pricing right now? Oh, I look at what other firms in my area are charging, and then I'll lowball that. All of that will go away once we continue to help, and I've been doing this since 2018. We work with those firm owners who are sick and tired of the way things have been going and are ready to make a change. And I think for the firm owners listening too, you're not alone. It's just as an industry as a whole, you wanna help people and you really try, but until people pay you, you can't help them. So the
Right.
more we keep giving away for free or doing for free or not getting engagement letters signed and giving discounts and
Mm,
answering quick questions, it's not only hurting yourself, but it's hurting all of the firm owners as a collective.
yeah.
So, most firm owners have great technical skills, but have zero structure around sales or sales process. You have a
Right.
workflow process to get the work done, but what about a sales workflow process? And that's what I preach every single day. And most firm owners that I meet with that don't have that in place, it's costing them thousands of dollars that they leave on the table every single month. Here, we help you really shift from how do I stop giving away my time and knowledge for free and start commanding my value and getting paid for what I'm worth without having to be salesy, without having to be sleazy or aggressive or pushy. It's so
Mm,
you know the exact words you can say and so that you don't have to freeze up in sales conversations. You can have a good flow and not have to feel nervous or insecure about what's that next thing you're going to say.
mm.
Yeah,
I love it.
that's what I'm up to.
I love it. That's a good thing to be up to. Yeah, there's a lot of really good people we talk with in this space, and you're on the list of trying to serve, trying to help elevate, trying to help support these small businesses that are scrapping, clawing, doing their best. And it's a tough
Yeah.
industry. I mean, we work with a space that is generally constantly overwhelmed. And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, let's make more money. That's one side of it, but also time.
Mhm.
I love the fact that part of what you're trying to do, let's get you a vacation and make
Yeah.
sure that you feel comfortable that you could just take some time off and not, let this part of your business maybe die because you've got a workflow and a system and a process
Mhm.
that maybe isn't completely dependent on you. But let's talk about a buzzy item, and
Yeah.
that's AI. What is AI's impact for an accounting firm, a tax firm, a bookkeeping firm's sales process? What is it
Yeah, from
impacting,
a
or what should you pivot?
so when it comes to AI for your sales process, it can help you maybe on the research side, probably similar to what you see doing a tax return or, other
Mm,
research, right? Like there's a place for it. But in my course, like I preach this every single day to my clients, for 8 weeks, I don't let them use AI. If you
mm,
use AI, you're actually not understanding the sales psychology. You're not able to think differently. And unfortunately, AI is never going to be in your sales conversations. So
mm,
I actually encourage to not use any AI, no Claude, no Chat GPT, no nothing. I want you to do the assignments and everything with your own head. And imagine being in a sales meeting one on one, like we're here having this conversation. There is no robot that you can just type in and say, oh, well, they said this. What should I say back? Or what sales is relationship based selling, is what I preach. And sales
mm,
is actually about listening. So, unfortunately, until they implant some
hmm,
devices in our head and we can just stay shut and it will listen to the key
yeah.
words that we're trying to listen to, AI cannot take over that. And that's, I would say, 80% of your sales process. Could AI help you with a follow-up sequence and help you write the emails? Yes, and I've done webinars on that. But AI can also help you dive deep into your ideal client and what keeps them up at night and the challenges they have so you
Mm,
can get mentally prepared for any sales meeting and be prepared to speak to a prospect in a way where they're like, wow, it's not like I'm a bookkeeping firm owner and I do books. It's like, no,
mm,
I'm Michelle, and I help you have cash flow so you can actually pay your bills every single week and day or month, and you can have your taxes completed on time so you don't
mm,
have to pay penalties and interest anymore. And you can stop overpaying the government by 20, $30,000 in interest and penalties every year because you're always late. I can teach you and AI can help you with some great words to use in the research side. But
mm.
maybe that's 5 10, 20% tops. I would say 80% of sales is 100% listening. And there's
Mm,
no robot that can teach you that. There's no artificial intelligence unless it's going to be
mm,
implanted in our heads that can do that. So if you're like in a sales conversation, which many of my clients find themselves in,
mm,
and their stomach kinda gets a little nervous or their mind goes blank or they're just, like, winging it and don't know what to say, and then the prospect takes control over that conversation because you didn't know what to say, that's when I'm like, "Okay, it's time to change and it's time to really understand and learn a sales process." So you have that confidence that you've never had before, and I always say, Christian, when people say, "Oh, Michelle, what do you do?" I say, "Oh, I sell confidence."
mm,
I sell certainty and confidence and clarity that
mm,
you've never had before when speaking to a prospect. So we show you how to confidently guide every sales conversation, and there's no robot that will do it. I've had a couple clients. One of
mm.
the assignments is to like write a price increase letter, and I can totally tell which ones use Claude or ChatGPT. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
is total garbage. If you want to learn how to handle pricing with ease, learn to overcome objections on the fly, you can't do that with AI. And if you wanna close premium clients and you wanna charge premium fees, then you don't wanna compete on price based with everybody else, and you don't wanna feel like a pushy car salesman, and you wanna have the confidence to actually be the business owner and close clients and not take the passive approach by sending proposals or quotes, you
Mm.
have to learn relationship-based selling, and there is no robot, no artificial intelligence that's gonna do that for you right now and probably in our lifetime. Maybe in the future, it
Mm.
can take your voice and do it for you.
Yes. That's really helpful. And, there's something there that I want to pick on a little bit because one of the things I think that's only going to increase is AI adoption. And
Yeah.
AI is going to worm its way for good and for ill into every part of not only our businesses, but I think our society. But when you talk about those AI generated price raising emails that you're like, hey, here's your homework. And they're like, hey, Gemini, I need you
Yeah.
to do this for me. And they just
Yeah.
kick it back to you. I think that we're already there, but it's only going to increase. This AI slop is how I'm seeing it
Mhm.
coined. And I think I agree. I'm going to outsource all my thinking
Yeah.
and output to AI and not blindly, but mostly blindly trust. And I think what you're saying is, hey, sales is a skill
Yes.
that is developed and it's based on interpersonal communication and,
Mhm.
ability. So the
Yeah.
listening, you've said listening a number of times. And so when you are looking at implementing AI, you're giving AI like a 20% role in your sales process, but you're putting the emphasis on if you want to grow this year, um, you need to develop your own skill set personally as a firm owner. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's 100% correct. I mean, I
Mm.
just enrolled a new client the other day and we did his onboarding call and he had his chat GPT up and he goes, so it's okay to like get help from AI. And I go, no, actually, it's not. And it's in my contract and it's here and you've agreed that you're not going to use
Wow.
it. I go, the reason you have 40,000 AR, the reason you're not closing, the reason all these things is because we have to stop relying on all these other tools to help us do the things we're not confident in. I'm going to teach you a skill in 8 weeks or less where you can have the confidence to collect. And yesterday I saw him like 24 hours after he collected 4,000 of 40,000 of AR.
Okay.
And he's already seeing
Yeah.
the conceptual thing on how to have a sales conversation because someone who was in their 5th week was asking a question. I was like, yeah. I go, you guys, AI is not going to do this for you. There is no
Mm.
robot that's going to be in a sales meeting on the phone with you and a prospect. It's just not going to happen.
Mm.
I think he kinda got it and it clicked, but,
Mm.
I had another client, she's the first-time firm owner, currently
Okay.
working a full-time job. She wanted more freedom, so she wanted to quit her job, and she was discounting and doing a ton of free work, and she thought that she needed more leads to
Mm.
help her sales problem, but she wasn't converting the leads she already had. So I'm like,
Right.
well, that's not gonna make a difference. So in the 4th week, we
Mm.
write, a communication piece, for new firm owners, they think into the future, right? And it's a price increase letters. And she turned in her letter and it had all the lines the page breaks that AI gives you and all the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go, "I'm sorry, but
Right.
not only is this terrible, but you didn't even do the work."
Right.
And I go, "So did you have ChatGPT help you write this?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "I can tell. None of it makes sense and none of it is in any of the language that I provided to you to use.
Mm,
And if this is what you want to send, by all means, it's not going to work. I don't know why you paid me." And I go, "I want you to attempt to redo it. Pretend we never had this conversation and promise me that you're going to close your ChatGPT. I get we're overwhelmed and we're busy, but this is a skill
right.
set, right?" So anyway, she redid it. It was beautiful, so good. I'm like, "You have the
Mm,
great letter in place, and now you're set up for when you have more clients." But she had some monthly clients that she wanted to increase the fees to. And she goes the next week, "Michelle, it completely changed the way I think about my sales conversations and how I communicate to clients." I go, "I know."
mm,
Again, sales, 80% of it is communicating with people in a relationship based selling conversation, and 80% is listening. The robots
mm,
aren't going to be listening. So why try to take a shortcut when her second time around was so good and something clicked for her? She even told me she realized that she can get whatever she wants. She just needs to ask
hmm,
for it in like the group setting on the group coaching call. She got great coaching. And what she said is she had done other coaching programs before and they didn't really have a lot of structure, and she needed high structure to be successful. I go, "Well, I guess you needed me to call you out that you use ChatGPT and that you need to redo your assignment." Because I'm sure other programs would be like, "Oh, whatever.
right.
They did it," And I'm like, I don't settle for that. If you're going to invest at a high level, you're going to get really high results because I want that 28 million of additional revenue be 29 and 30 and onwards and upwards, right? So she goes, "Well, Michelle, thank you for giving me a sales foundation and
Mm,
helping her change her mindset and give her structure around sales." My new client, he goes, I'm just scared of sales. Like I don't even know what to say to somebody. And I get that. And that's why you're here. That's why you want to change because you don't want to
mm.
continue the way you've been going. Yeah.
People are starting to see through this was some guy or gal that just threw something in ChatGPT, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust them. I don't know if I can be confident in them because
Yeah.
this may not have come from them at all, and they may not have vetted it. I think that we are learning the patterns of how AI
Mhm.
writes, and AI will probably change and try and get more human, but the the way in which it writes is distinct. And whenever you see like an email newsletter or, a text or a blog post, you can almost immediately tell if you've done this just a little bit. It's like that has all the structure formatting of AI. Therefore, it's
Mhm.
not that it's always like bad content, but it's like not building trust, right? It's not building
Yeah.
trust. Sometimes it's
It's
also
kinda
bad
like
content.
the marketing that you help clients with. If
Right,
everything was written in that format and that style and nothing
right,
seemed personalized, well, what's the point?
right. There's a part of AI that for our email writing, that's a big service for us. We write it with humans, but AI can help with strategy, like you said. So if we
Yeah.
need a topic or we want to dig in and do a little R&D, or if we want to try and,
Mhm.
flesh something out a little bit. Yeah, it's a great strategy partner, like if you
Correct.
use AI appropriately. So sales, your, both onboarding, your sales process, evaluate, here's a proposal, did I miss anything? But when you're wholesale writing
Yeah. You don't wanna give
things,
it the whole task to do.
no, you
It's like
don't.
check for grammar or, do you have
Yes,
a good hook for this? Do you have a good here's the email
yes,
I wrote. Can you fix it for grammar? And do you have a great subject line that might work?
right.
You know,
Right. But this is a unique part of a business that our industry is being like when you talk about like the tasks, the check boxes that need to happen every day for a bookkeeping firm or for a tax
Mhm.
firm or there's a lot of little tasks that AI can't do all of them, but AI can do increasingly
Mm.
a lot of things scarily well. And so
Yeah.
I do think that there's a temptation to like let AI run rampant and just keep going because it helped me here with production.
Right.
So you
It's
would
different
say,
elements of the process. Like with my clients, Christian, I do a video testimonial. I show them
mhm,
and walk them through it. It's about a half hour one-on-one Zoom with them. At that moment, after we
Mm.
do the video testimonial, I show them how we can take that transcript and
Mhm.
have AI help us write a written testimonial on behalf of the client.
Mhm.
It's great. It's 100% in the client's words. It's perfect, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
So it's great for different elements. Like I said, it might take care of 5 to 10 or 20% tops of different elements of a sales process that it could support you with. But I have another client. He was in
Mm.
business for 1 year, fractional CFO firm owner. And he would say, Michelle, on my sales calls, I would get my tongue tied. Like I just wouldn't know what to say. Okay, great. We worked together. He went through the course and everything. And no AI. I go,
Mm.
you've got to get comfortable saying your price,
Right.
knowing the steps to enrollment,
Mm.
having confidence in a relationship a
Mm.
relationship based selling conversation.
Mhm.
And what he told me is he goes like sales is really psychology. And I was like,
Yes.
yeah, it is.
Yes.
And he learned how to build relationships and build relationships within his network. And
Right.
within I think he closed like $100,000 client or something bigger than that. I
Mm.
have a whole podcast with him on this story.
Mm.
Um, but that's what
Mm.
it's about. In our program, he said the accountability was great and he really saw that we truly cared about his success, which we do. We do with every client. It is overwhelming for some people. Like we are dealing with someone right now who 3 or 4 weeks in just says, "Oh,
Mm.
I think I'm different than other firm owners. I just don't think this is for me." And I was like, that's the time we really
Yeah.
need to dig in, because this is where
Right.
the rubber meets the road, and you gotta be able to face your fears. This is a
Yes.
transformational skill set that the most introverted
Mm.
left brain
Mhm.
accountant can learn, as long as
Mm.
you're like, "Okay, I'm done with the way things are going."
Right.
Because this course shows you how to be confident about what you're worth.
Mm. Well, and there's something there too, I think, for firm owners, tax accounting, otherwise, to hear. And it's something I talk to people about that are considering us as well. And it's this idea that I think our group that we serve, Michelle. So if you're a CPA, if you're an
Yeah.
accountant, if you're a bookkeeper, I don't think even some of the most successful see themselves clearly. And I think if you're selling confidence, I think that maybe you could frame it for them as well. And like, are they actually just getting books done, taxes
Mhm.
prepared, financials prepared? What are they doing? I think that there's a maybe I'll frame it in the negative, like they are the port in the storm or they're extinguishing fear because the general citizen, business owner is
Yeah.
probably really afraid of taxes and not
Mhm.
thinking they are doing it right. And so when
100%, that's me. I
right,
hate everything about it,
I
you
hate it
know?
too. I hate it. I'm a smart guy, you're a smart gal. It's not that we're dumb. It's just
No, I don't
it's not
like
how our brain
speaking
works.
no, not at all. I don't understand
Yeah.
journal entries, like, that's why we
Yes.
have bookkeepers, that's why I have
Yes.
a CPA. That's why I
Yes.
have quarterly strategy meetings and
Mhm.
planning so we have support on that. So as a firm owner, if the first line on your P&L is sales or income, then you got to learn how to do that. You need to learn
Yes.
how to grow your top
Mm.
line revenue, which is learning the skill set of selling.
Right.
It's the number one thing. Otherwise, your net income's low,
Yes.
profitability is low, gross profit's low, discounts are high. I
Mhm.
remember one of my clients, he was working part-time while building his firm. He was working a full-time job and he
Mm.
you'll love this because he thought, well, AI can help me fix my problems. Then he needed a better tech stack.
Mm.
I was like, "How many clients did you meet with?" But they didn't convert, and he was sharing all this
Mm.
with me, and he's like, "Michelle, if I don't figure out this firm," and he didn't have a job anymore for about 1 year. He went full time working on
Mm.
his firm. His wife said, "If you don't figure this out, you need to go get a job." And
Yeah.
he was doing, like, visual presentations, he was trying to fix his branding, he was trying to get his tech stack,
Yeah.
and he was doing all that because he thought, "That's how I'm gonna get clients." And I was like, "That is definitely not how you're gonna get
Yeah,
clients."
no,
Right?
no.
And, but here's what he said, and I think many firm owners will resonate with this. He's like, "Michelle, I just in the sales meeting, I don't know how to ask for the money up front and state the
Yep.
value that I know I'm worth." And I go, "That is selling. That is what we
Yes.
teach, right?"
Mhm.
And, I don't remember how much revenue he's done, but he didn't need to get a job. He closed
Mhm.
hundreds of thousands of dollars in just that 1
Mhm.
year, and
Mhm.
he realized that sales is relational sales. It's not digital.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, people are going to choose to buy from you and stay with you if they have a relationship. I
Yeah.
think there definitely is something to be said of delivering value, right? So
Yeah.
your clients expect you to get things done on time
Yeah.
and to do it the right way. And that is a big part of how you build and maintain a business is quality. But
Yeah.
there is the emotional relational side of, hey, that's my accountant guy or gal. That's my
Yeah.
person. That's my
Yeah.
special weapon. And that's why referrals are so strong in this industry because when you become that type of person that is high quality and also relational and available or winsome or just, again, not just sending emails once a year saying, here's your stuff,
Yeah.
load it up in the portal. When you go beyond that
Yeah.
from the sales process, and I would say further into the client relationship, like the sales process is getting them in the door. But if you
Mhm.
continue that, that's how you keep and maintain a business and
Yeah.
have people that can do that for you too. Like you don't have to be the
Yeah.
only quote unquote account manager for your firm and your company, but that idea of the relational part of both how you make sales and how you maintain a business is just it's so fundamental because if you're not that, then it is just a transaction and you are at risk of the group that does undercut you on pricing,
Yep.
right? The group that does just swoop in and maybe use lots of AI tech stack stuff and just come in 30% lower. And I'm not worried about the clients who
Yeah.
are both spending time with their new leads on the front end and regularly a strategy session or a check-in call or let's meet, like what's going on in your world. Like just it
Mhm.
sounds like a lot. And some of our clientele we talk with are like, I don't want to talk to my clients anymore. And it's like, I get it. Like I know if you're especially only tax, it's just like, golly, I need a break from talking to clients. And yes, different service lines, different revenue lines, different, kind of offerings maybe require different types of touch points. But I feel completely confident in saying that if you can keep that principle that Michelle's putting forward in your sales process and even continue it, you're going to build a juggernaut because people don't want to leave their person, their accountant that
Yeah.
really solves it. You've got high quality.
And
That's a part
and
of it.
in this world, people wanna talk to people. I mean, so many
Yes.
people are sick of like, shoot, try to talk to a human at Facebook. It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
People want human interaction. I know it seems weird, but I think there's enough robots and social media and things
Mm,
that are fake out there that the real thing is what sells. I have so many success stories. If you go to
yes.
theabundantaccountant.com and click on success stories, there's over
Okay.
400 video written testimonials. I mean, like
Mm,
I said, Google reviews. I teach the clients how to do that. And
mm,
if someone's really committed to making a change, and you want to learn how to confidently guide every sales conversation and handle pricing with ease and close premium clients without being pushy or salesy, and you want to explore what that looks like, you can go to theabundantcall.com and schedule a conversation with me and my team to see what things are missing in your firm so you don't have to
mm,
continue second guessing yourself or over
mm,
delivering and giving low fees and
mm,
dealing with burnout. We can explore what that looks like. But at least you
mm.
have a roadmap of what you need to fix.
Okay. Let's talk about marketing and sales a little bit. When you're talking to firm owners that are considering working with you or in your program, how do those two areas of a business work together? Or how do they often fail in one of those two areas? Obviously, we know that if they don't have a sales process, as we've discussed, that's a big problem. But then you have the marketing side of like, yeah, you do need to have leads. So just when you're
You
coaching people
do.
through it. What do you say?
Yeah, we have a brand new person right now in the course, and I would say 30 to 40% of our clients are brand new, and they don't wanna make a lot of these mistakes. So, yes, you need marketing, but I don't believe you wanna do too much marketing until you learn how to close, because out
Mm,
of the thousands of conversations I've had with firm owners, the number one problem you think you have when I say, "What's your biggest challenge with sales?" You say leads, and I'm like, "It's not. Once we do our conversation, we see how much money you're leaving on the table. We have to stop that
mhm,
bleeding." It's almost like having a boat, and that boat has leaks and holes, and then soon that boat will sink. Until we plug up
mm,
those holes and not have our boat sink, then we can't add more people onto our boat, right? And adding
mhm,
people onto our boat is like doing marketing. I know that there's some elements of marketing like emails and SEO and Google and all these other things that take time. So
right,
maybe you can do them at
right,
the same time if you have the bandwidth for that. But 99%, maybe 99.9% of the firm owners I've worked with since 2018, leads have never been the problem.
mm,
Closing, converting, getting engagement letters signed, having payments up front, not
mm,
having AR, being
mm,
able to lead every sales call with 100% confidence and certainty, charging what you're worth, talking to the right clients, having a qualification process. So when you do your marketing, you don't waste time with tire kickers. You don't waste time with people who aren't your ideal clients. So you can hit your revenue goal. That's all sales. Once you have that figured out, putting money onto the fire pit and putting more newspaper onto the fire pit, that's marketing. And then you can go gangbusters, whatever you want to do, because you know you can close and convert. I believe that on marketing, you want to see a return on that investment of
mhm,
10 times or more on every dollar you put in. So
mm,
if you don't know how to close, then how can we make sure that our ROI, there is an ROI on that marketing. But
right,
I know a lot of the marketing you do, Christian, it takes time. So with
does,
us, you can have a sales process in 8 weeks, but with you, it might take, 3 months, 6 months for
right,
things to kick on. So then you'd want to do them simultaneously. But if you're going to spend money, let's say on Facebook ads, I wouldn't even
mhm,
spend $1 until this is 100% hashed out and that you feel
right,
confident in all of your test meetings and all of your upsell meetings. If you already have clients who aren't paying you enough and you have those re-enrollment calls, you want to be able to close high value clients in one phone
mm,
call. You want to
mm,
not have AR and you want to be able to know your start to finish, be able to handle any objection that comes your way. Like, I need to think about it. Why are you so expensive? Why are you charging me more? Why are you more
mm,
expensive than the other firm I just met with? Like, you have to have that total confidence before you go and spend money on Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, and all the advertising. I think
mm,
marketing and advertising are two different things too. One's
mhm,
spending money and one's, doing other slower, more organic approaches for people to say, "Oh, I want to talk to X firm."
right. No, I think that's great. I think obviously the example of someone who is completely, let's say, unconfident, they don't have confidence in
Yes.
their ability to sell, you may want to think that through. So when you get a lead, right, my job is to pass the baton to the firm
Yep.
owner and say, here you go. And if you
Exactly.
have either no proposal or you haven't thought about your service bundles, price points, differentiation,
Yeah.
your
Packages.
USP, your client avatar, who are you speaking to? Is it anyone and everyone? Like, yeah, it comes
Hmm.
up. We do run into some people that have, let's call it like, they do have a sales system and they can grow, but I do think that we have run into people from our end where the conversation is, why am I not growing? And we look at the data and we're like, well, you're getting a bunch of leads. And it's because of the things you're talking about, where they just didn't put
Yeah.
the infrastructure in place to harvest. And so there's a lot there where marketing and sales do relate together. And
Yeah.
I think that lead gen is what people think about most when they think about marketing and advertising. And you kind of named it. It's like SEO and it's
Yeah.
ads, right? And
Yeah.
that's totally a part of it. I would say marketing is also very, if it's done right, it is about relationships. And so again, once you
Yeah.
get a client, what you do via email or not at all, or what you're doing that's not great, or how you, again, kind of position yourself, or how your website looks. Like, I've had people sign up with us where they're like, I actually don't want to grow that much, but my website is so dated that people just don't take me seriously.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, yes, that's a thing. You want to come across as being someone who cares and is engaged and is providing value beyond just the check boxes of services. So that is another
Yeah.
part of marketing that, again, with your sales orientation, I think fits super well. It's doing relationship style marketing once they're a client, because the easiest person to get money from
Is the current
is the
client.
person that's already giving you money. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I think a lot of times people get lost in the sauce on lead gen. You do need new leads at some point, right? And you want to have
Yeah.
infrastructure in place, but there's also the, how many great people are you just not talking to in your existing business that have other things you can sell them, and they just don't hear from you?
Yeah.
And so it is sales and being confident. And it's also like, hey, how's it going? Here's what's on my
Mhm.
mind, and letting your expertise come through. Because again, I think it's a very similar core problem. It's a lack of understanding of the value that
Yeah.
a good, competent accounting or tax firm has and can bring to the table. You have a lot
Yeah,
more to bring to the table than what you think.
and I think most firm owners, Christian, like I said earlier, they have incredible technical skills, but zero
Mm-hmm.
structure around sales and have no clue
Mm-hmm.
on which direction to market. There's 8 million different things you could do where they need
Yes.
to have a conversation with someone like you and say, well,
Right.
let's weigh out your options. How much
Yes.
money are you going to spend?
Right.
You know,
Right.
what things are like going to turn people away. You don't wanna spend a bunch of money on advertising if you've got a crappy looking website. That's gonna just
Right.
be
No.
deterring people. So, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's where I find that's costing thousands of dollars every month for firm owners that we uncover. And it's like, until
Yes.
you can plug those holes in your boat, there's no point in moving forward with
Mm.
putting money into generating new leads. You gotta fix your
Mm.
current problems first.
Mm-hmm. And once you know what your sales process is, your marketing, as in like your new lead intake system, it should be a sales CRM where you can see the leads data info, but also like start to nudge them closer to the types of things you're going to hit in your conversation. And so we don't usually
Mhm.
do, here's our contact form when we build a site for a client or we
Mhm.
design their emails. It's not name, email, phone number, and what's your question?
Yeah.
Or here's a discovery call. Like there's pros and cons with lots of different lead conversion systems, but kind of to get back to some of the things you've mentioned just from a marketing angle, we want to ask good questions through
Yeah.
marketing so that by the time they're on a call with you, they've already self-identified, here's my problems, here's what I need help with.
Yeah.
You're leading them to the right outcome, or you're figuring out if it's just not a good fit.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of that through marketing, especially when you know, here's who I want to serve, here's what I'm best at, here's what I'm good at, and here's my value I bring to the table. Well, now you can kind of reverse engineer those questions, build that into your marketing so that marketing and sales are not in friction. So I
Yes.
think that's common, right? I
Yes.
think the most age old thing is marketing and sales or production and sales, right? These departments that compete with each other. And if you can
Gotta
build
go
harmony,
together.
it's got to go to, it does, it's got to be
Mhm.
harmonized. I think when marketing and sales and then production, clear scope of work, clear deliverables, clear timelines, and then processes to deliver on that, which AI can help with. Yeah, there's a role for
Yeah.
AI in production in our space for sure. When they're all singing from the same song sheet,
Yeah.
that's when you start to really enjoy your business.
Mhm.
It's when you have different departments that are always at odds with each other,
Yes.
whether it's all run by you or other people. So I think that's another thing. If you're building your
Mm.
business, it's sales,
Mhm.
it's marketing, it's production, it's whatever else, right? Administrative stuff you've got to do. There's a Venn diagram where these things overlap in different
Yeah.
areas, and you want those overlaps to not be like a volcano going off, where it's like,
Yeah,
oh my
no.
God, the second
Smooth
marketing,
smooth
yeah,
circle.
yep, a gear that's
A
clicking
gear.
together and
Mhm.
working, right? Not just on its own. So I love the
Yeah.
part that you pull out of a business of sales and say, hey, get this dialed in. And then we serve in other places. And there's other people to help you think in other parts of your business. We're not the only ones. But when sales and marketing are harmonized, man, it's a fun business to be in.
Mhm.
It's a fun business to be in. It's so fun. So, Michelle, this was great. Thanks for your content on AI, case studies,
Yeah.
talking
Anytime.
about marketing and sales. I know we'll do it again. But guys, thanks for joining.
Yeah, if you're ready to uncover hidden obstacles you've got in your firm
Mhm.
and what's holding you back in your growth, you go to theabundantcall.com to schedule your
Theabundantcall.com.
complimentary call with me and my team.
There we
And we'll
go.
go through like current practices you're doing, identify revenue blockers, where are those leaks that you might have in your boat, and again, create a customized roadmap for you to hopefully potential double your revenue, just like all my other clients have, without the
Mhm.
need to chase new clients.
Great job on the work you're doing. And I
Thanks.
appreciate you in our industry just serving and helping to lead by building clarity and structure and giving people, a ladder they can climb on. They can climb to new heights in their business because of the work you do. So grateful for you. And thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll
Awesome.
talk to you guys soon.
Bye,
See ya.
guys. Thank you.